Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, welcome back to another episode. Today I'm on the way to work. You're joining me on a very blustery, windy day in London. It's quite cloudy as well, not the nicest of days. So not a bad day actually to be going to work. Anyway, in today's video I'm going to talk to you guys about the support bubble. This is the kind of next step in the easing of restrictions with regard to the coronavirus, Covid-19, and the government has made the announcement that as of now, as of when this video goes out, those who live alone, so single adults who live alone or a single parent, can form a bubble with another household, effectively kind of becoming an extension of that household. So in this video today I'm going to talk to you guys about what this really means, whether I think it's safe or not, and whether we're actually ready to be at that step. You know, is it the right time to be doing this? And yeah, how things are going really. Kind of an update as well from the front line, what we're seeing here in terms of coronavirus. So I hope I'm going to be able to give you guys some tips on staying safe if you are going to be forming a bubble with another household. Some things you need to keep an eye out for and be wary of during this time as well. So before we do get started, for those that are new to the channel, my name's Dr. Alex George. I'm an A&E doctor, I work in London. I also do some media things as well, TV doctor work, and also have my own podcast, The Waiting Room. So thanks so much for joining the channel. If you haven't subscribed, click the link below, hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you can be notified when I upload a video. Right, I'm going to go in, start my shift, and when I've got a moment, when I've got my coffee break, we'll sit down and have a chat about this because it is very important. It's a huge next step and it will have implications. Let's go. Right guys, so I'm now changed, ready for my shift, about to head downstairs. I've already seen that it's quite busy today. Not very many COVID cases. We're seeing a lot more of other things going on, more business as usual stuff I guess. So probably expecting a relatively busy day ahead, but I will be grabbing some time to speak with Kath Taylor as well, one of the doctors that you've seen in previous videos. Anyway, let's do it. Let's go downstairs, start the shift, and we'll catch up soon. So hello guys, I'm joined by Kath again, one of the doctors here in Lewisham Hospital. We're wearing masks.
I know, we have to.
We're wearing masks now. The new rules is that we need to wear masks in all areas of the hospital. Previously it was about clinical areas, and essentially if you're within 2 meters of a patient was an important thing, but now things have slightly changed, haven't they?
Yeah, they keep changing the rules every few days, but that's the latest, and I think also from Monday it will be all. I just got an email about Ubers and public transport that it has to be masks on all of them as well.
So it's going to be spreading more and more really in that sense. So masks can be here to stay. The thing that's interesting about the masks is that I think the perception from people is that it protects you from other people, but the main reason that the masks are beneficial or could be beneficial is protecting, you know, other people if you have coronavirus and giving it to them, so you're not obviously expectorating and producing kind of sputum that you're then coughing onto other people or anything like that. That's the main reason.
And I think that works better if you're both wearing masks.
If you're both wearing masks. Essentially, masks are here to stay, so we have to get used to them, and now we're going to be doing videos like this. I'm very sorry, it's not as great as if you can see my mouth moving and smiling. I promise I am smiling a little bit, as is Kath as well. We've got a much nicer smile.
I should draw one on. Really.
Yeah, draw one on the outside, perfect. Yeah. Anyway, we've stopped on our break. We've got our coffees, which we currently can't drink, clearly, which we realise we can't really drink until we go to the coffee area. Anyway, we stopped on our break to have a chat about this whole bubble situation. So essentially the government's guidance now is that if you're an individual living on your own and you're over the age of 18, then you can add on to another household, i.e. you can go and visit and spend time in another household as if you're part of that household. It applies also to those who are single parents with children under the age of 18, so they can act as a kind of mini bubble themselves. So the idea is to kind of get people who've been isolated back together, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I think if people are shielding, you're not, as in you're in the group that was initially shielding, you're still not allowed to add to the bubble. But otherwise, it's just sort of trying to reintroduce people, I guess, and also to sort of give people back a bit of a support network. If you're living on your own, I would imagine it's been quite lonely over the last few months. Like, as in, I luckily don't, but as in if you're not seeing anybody at all, and I think it would be very difficult. And we've definitely seen in A&E a lot more people feeling very isolated and sort of mental health problems being definitely exacerbated by not being able to socialise or do what we would normally do. I think
that's a really important point, because it's not just about the physical side of things, it's mental health as well. This is a long haul. I said this right at the start, people remember the channel, that this is something we're going to have to face over a period of time. So it's not something that just goes away overnight, and therefore it has to be sustainable. And we have to look after people who are vulnerable. I've definitely seen more mental health cases, I think, in the hospital recently, people struggling a little bit. Also just talking to patients, asking how are you doing, how are things in general, and say, it's hard because I'm on my own, I'm isolating, I'm shielding or whatever. It's very, very difficult. So some of these steps are clearly to try and help a group of the population that maybe are not in the shielding group, are hopefully generally fit and well, and they're able to spend time together. Now, yes, the mental health side is very important, but looking after your physical health and staying safe throughout this whole thing is very important. So we're going to talk a little bit about some tips that we can give you guys to stay safe if you are going to be, in a bubble with another household.
Yeah, so I would still recommend sort of obviously using same sort of hand washing as you would, like particularly with like bathrooms and things. You definitely want to make sure that they're like cleaned regularly as well, just to try and prevent sort of any spread of germs, sort of as you would kind of normally anyway. And then obviously you can act as though you're in your household whilst if you're a social bubble with them, but sort of not to take advantage of it. So like 1 week you can't just have one social bubble and then the next week you can't just change it. I think that's not how it's meant to be working. You're meant to choose one and then stick with it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a really important point. The important points there, I guess, the hand washing, clearly, just don't become relaxed with it. Like, make sure you keep washing your hands, focus on those things. And definitely, like, you can't go, right, I'm living on my own, therefore I'll have that bubble this week. Fancy visiting that people that next week. Sadly, I wish you could do that, but we can't. So you need to kind of pick. And I also would say be sensible about who you pick. Pick a bubble which is clearly people that you're kind of close with, people that are obviously generally otherwise quite well, and people that are relatively close to you. You don't want to be travelling distances and things like that. Really, just take your time and think about who you're going to kind of buddy up with in terms of this bubble. I think is very, very important. Another thing I would say as well is that when we're talking about the bubble, just be careful that no one else is kind of being added on to that. So speak with the people you're going to be joining. If you're joining a family, say you're living on your own, you're joining, another house with 2 or 3 people in it. Just make sure they understand that they can't then go meet up with other people. I think that's very important, just to be at the start honest, because what you don't want to happen is that you're meeting them, they're meeting other people, and then you're spreading the virus.
Yeah, definitely. And also, although we're obviously allowed at the moment to meet up with people in sort of an outdoor setting, it's just to make sure that you do kind of keep some social distancing when you're doing that. So if they're going out and regularly meeting people and sort of sharing food and picnics and everything, which obviously we all want to do at the moment, but it is just to be cautious. Like anything that you have touched, then if they're touching it as well, you're basically spreading it. Unfortunately.
Absolutely, and I think that's very true. So I think it's using a lot of common sense. I think one of the things I've heard a lot of the public health guys saying, and they're very true, is you've got to use common sense and think about what are the implications of what I'm doing, what precautions can I take to reduce the risk.
Hello.
Just filming. We've got Nish in here as well. Nish is joining in, so one of the other senior doctors here as well. We're in the registrar's room, so we can join in. You okay?
You carry on, yeah.
We'll carry on. That's all right.
Nish just washing his hands.
Nish is actually washing his hands. So a prime example of good hand washing technique going on here. Good man. I'm glad for that. And actually, you can kind of see the hand washing guide at the back there. Hand washing technique. Perfect. So what we were saying is that we feel very much we're over the peak, right? So you had a peak a while ago. Cases have come down. We probably see a couple of COVID cases a day now, really, 1 or 2 a day. Is that fair?
Yeah.
In the whole department, so we're seeing a lot less.
Yeah.
And so I think it's right we're moving on to the next stage. We can't stay in this lockdown forever. It's not feasible, is it?
And I think actually sort of trying to keep everyone in lockdown forever for a longer period of time probably is having a more of a detrimental effect on sort of people's mental health and different things as well with the isolation. So hopefully this will be a step forward from that side of things.
And also physical health complications in terms of a lot of people staying at home are not maybe as active as they were. They're maybe not eating as well as they were. Maybe drinking a bit more than they'd like to. I think a lot of people I've heard are kind of feeling that way because they feel trapped in. They're not in a normal routine. It affects your general health. The state of anxiety is higher because you're not able to kind of see other people and do those important things. And as you say, mental and physical health is very important. It's not just about COVID. So having a progression is so important. I think we can't stay in that lockdown forever, certainly. So I think, guys, the main thing to say is that yes, I think it's the right time for us to move on to this next step.
Yeah, so it's a progression, but obviously just not for everyone to go wild and have a massive party.
Don't go wild, have a massive party.
Even though we all want to.
We're
all waiting.
We all want to enjoy.
It will come in time, but yeah, just baby steps, because we don't want to go back into lockdown.
The main thing I say is form a bubble with a household that makes sense for your life in terms of distance. Make sure that they're only budging up with you as a bubble, and that you're practicing basically a bit of common sense and stuff. Washing your hands, keep distance when you can keep distance, and also try and spend time outside if you can, because we know that the transmission of the virus is much lower in the outdoors. So try and be outside as a general rule when you can, which will really help. So look after your mental health, look after your physical health. Hopefully we'll keep progressing and keep the cases low. Sorry about these masks. They're not probably ideal, but anyway. Thanks guys so much. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Leave the comments down below. Let me know other topics you want to know about. And yeah, if you want to find out more information about the social bubble or the bubble plan scheme, whatever you want to call it, then you can head to the NHS website. There's a lot more information, detailed information about who it applies to, general guidance as well, and thoughts around it. So yeah, thanks so much to Kath for coming back again. I'll stick her Instagram there. Stay safe, and yeah, I hope you guys don't mind the masks too much. Bye-bye. Bye.